Shalom, Apostle, coming back at you once again, real quick. This is a YouTube page, and the name is Secure Team 10, which I subscribe to, and so I get notifications every time a new video is put up. And this was put up yesterday, last night, which is December 16, 2017. It's December 17, 2017, less than 2 weeks before 2018. And I see through the Spirit that there's going to be a major change on a global level in 2018. So now, we're in the time of, tightening our belts and, make full proof of this ministry. Scriptures say in 1 Corinthians, Paul said, they that have wives be as though they had none. And our brothers should be putting out 3 videos a day, because there's so many things happening. And basically we're spiritual weathermen. Like if you go to the news, any news station, it might be 20 minutes in, if it's a half an hour news show, whether it's your local news or you have a channels dedicated to weather. And when you watch your regular news, it 15-20 minutes in, they'll give you the weather, and they give you the weather every day, and they give you the forecast, 10-day forecast or whatever, 7 days. And you do things based upon what the weatherman tells you. Sometimes he's a little off. He might say it's going to rain on a particular day, and it doesn't rain, or it might sprinkle. But anyway, you wouldn't watch that news program if they didn't give you the weather. You would watch another station that gives you the weather. So it's the same thing with us. We're spiritual weathermen, and we're giving you prophecy instead of telling you whether it's going to snow 2 days from now, or rain 5 days from now, or it's going to be chilly. It's going to be 28 tomorrow, but it's going to go up to 55 in 2 days. And you kind of say, well, look, on a day when it's 28 degrees, I'm not going to go out. I'm going to change my schedule around. I'm going to do it when it's 50, because the weatherman is pretty reliable. But anyway, what we tell you is what's going to happen based upon the scriptures, which is prophecy. It tells you in the Apocrypha, and we read it yesterday on the street, be occupied in prophecy. It also says, 1 Corinthians 14, but rather that ye prophesy, desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye prophesy. We're in a time of prophesying. And don't be surprised if you have higher ups watching you, because they're taking notice. Believe me, they're taking notice. And these elite, they study the scriptures. They study everything. They study various religions around the world, and they study us. And they see the prophecies coming to pass before their eyes. They know that they're going down. And like I said, I say it once in a while. I said, why are you mad at us? We're basically spiritual weathermen. We're telling you, can't get mad at the weatherman for telling you it's going to snow in 2 days, because he didn't bring the snow. All he's giving you is a forecast, and that's what prophecy is. It's a forecast. We're telling you what's going to happen. We're telling you we've been telling you about Babylon the Great being America. And when you read Revelation, the 18th chapter, it goes into how this place is going to be destroyed. John saw the destruction of Babylon the Great starting from the first verse. Anyway, this video, recent video from Secure Team 10, entitled "The Gov just released this UFO video." So I watched the first minute or so, and it actually shows you a clip of about, I don't know, 30 seconds, and you can hear these Edomites, talking. And just watch this video, and through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, I'm gonna go into a lot more videos on the so-called UFOs, because there's a lot of scriptures on the UFOs. If your eyes are open, you can see them. And the way we're going to be delivered, the so-called UFOs, when we speak on the so-called UFOs, we're prophesying, because we're telling you how we're going to be delivered. Revelation 11 chapter, from the 8th verse on down. Really, you should read the whole Revelation 11 chapter. But from the 8th verse down into the 10th, 11th verse, and so forth, it tells you how we're going to be. We're gonna go up into the clouds, and our enemies are going to behold us. In Psalms 91, that whole chapter goes into how this destruction is going to come, and how we're going to be delivered. It speaks about the angels delivering us, and how we're going to look down, and only with our eyes shall we behold the reward of the wicked. And the wicked represents Edomites, other nations, and even the 2/3, because the 2/3 are going to be destroyed right along with Esau and the other nations. Yeah, but when I saw this video, I said, yeah. And a couple of days ago, I said, we got to start going into the UFOs, the so-called UFOs. Zechariah, the 5th chapter, tells you that you're going to see a lot of activity, in beyond the ozone layer, and within the ozone layer, which is considered our heaven. You look up into the clouds, these so-called UFOs are going to start showing themselves, pursuant to Zechariah 5th chapter, starting from the 1st verse on down. It said it's going to enter into the house of the thief, which we would say that's America, because you go into the history of America, which America is a great place. Everybody on the planet knows about America. You go anywhere on the planet and you mention America, everybody knows about America and Americans. China, and the president is considered the leader of the free world. Anyway, I'm a little all over the place, but don't be surprised if you start seeing a lot more UFO sightings. And these UFOs show themselves all over the world. But if the government knows about it, they're not going to call the news and say, oh, there's another UFO sighting. Because guess what? Big old bad America are afraid of what they don't understand. So they don't know if they're aliens from another planet. They check out everything. The scriptures say that they're wiser than Daniel. So they'll listen to us. They'll say, well, wait a minute. The Israelites, these brothers that go out and teach, they teach on the UFOs, and they go to these scriptures. So what they'll do is they'll actually go to those scriptures, and they'll compare those scriptures to actual UFO sightings, man. And there was a movie that was put out, I believe it was 1969, or 1970 called Chariots of the Gods. And I remember as a child I saw that movie and I got all into it. And in that movie, if I'm correct, there was they went into the UFOs. Chariots of the Gods meaning UFOs. There was a documentary, you know, dedicated to UFO sightings, and part of the in the movie, the narrator speaks about, he quotes Ezekiel, the first chapter. Then he shows you pictures, icons or whatever, of an actual UFO. But like I said, the last time I saw that movie, and I'm almost positive it's on YouTube. So you can check that. You go to YouTube and you put in Chariots of the Gods, and the whole movie should be there. And it may be on Netflix. I don't know, you got to check it out. But anyway, you know, you got to go into those scriptures dealing with the UFOs. You got to speak on the UFOs, because they're going to start showing themselves, man. What does Jeremiah the 10th chapter says? Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them. You know, these other nations, they're going to bug out when they blatantly see, you know, so-called UFOs cover the sky, because they don't know where they're coming from, man. But we do. So when we see these UFOs, we're going to praise the Most High. Now you have crafts that the governments or the U.S. government will build that look like UFOs, because they have you know, this superior technology too, and the Russians, so they can duplicate, you know, so-called UFOs. So you might look up in the sky and think it's a UFO. It could be a something that the government, you know, a NASA or whatever, Navy created. And then you have Project Blue Beam, where you can beam up a image into the sky, and you think you actually seen a UFO, or the image of the so-called white Jesus, which we call Caesar Borgia or Cesare Borgia. But we're in the time of the end. We're definitely in the time of the end. And the third temple is being built right before your eyes. These scholars and these biblical historians are looking for when the third temple is going to be built, and the Antichrist, one guy, or Antichrist, they're looking for this one guy to be the Antichrist, when that's not scriptural at all. The scriptures say there's many Antichrists. You know, was it 1 John 4:1 on down? Speaks about you know, try the spirit, and it speaks about the spirit of Antichrist. 1 John the 2nd chapter speaks about many Antichrists. Anyway, I'm going to close, and I'm going to just say this. 2008, I see 2018 prophecies, you know, Esau's agenda, the elite agenda. I see everything speeding up, going to the next level. So if you in this hands in your pocket spirit, you know, if you're in this you know, this laid back spirit, that's not the spirit you're supposed to be in if you call yourself a man of the Lord or a prophet. You know, you're supposed to be in hyperdrive, you know, as Apostle Ariam Lab spoke of in a video that he recently put up. And I said in the beginning of this video that the scriptures say, make full proof, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry, of the ministry. which the ministry is the gospel. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom, and you know, either you're hot, cold, or lukewarm. Or if you're cold, you really don't, you're out of the truth. You're just back in the world. You don't give a shit. If you're hot, you're on fire for this truth. And everything that you see a breaking news. Oh, I forgot to mention this guy Richard Boykin. He's a Jake from Chicago, and he's calling for the UN to come into UN troops to come into Chicago. And you know what they're going to do when they go up in there? When they set up shop in Chicago, they're going to look at every so-called black man as an enemy because of this gun violence. And when that happens, that's martial law, because the Constitution is out the window in martial law. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.